Hi, I'm Zoe with the Calcasieu Parish Public Library, and today I'll be showing you how to design your own cut paper art.
To do this craft with me today, you'll need some paper, a craft blade, the design of your choice, some colored paper to back your finished design, and a glue stick. The first thing you'll need is your design. So this is my original sketch. And instead of cutting up my original, I made several copies. So I'll be working on these today. This way I have extra if I mess up. I've put this on a surface that's safe to cut on. For me, that's a stack of newspaper. And with my craft knife, I'm going to very carefully start cutting along my outline. One tip is to start with the area that looks the most difficult. That way, if you mess up and have to start over, you haven't lost a lot of time. It'll be a lot less frustrating. If you look at my design, you'll notice that all of my lines touch or connect in some way. There's nothing floating, and you want to pick a design like this. This way, once everything is cut out, my final design will lift away in one piece. You can see me finishing up the first petal right now, and once it's free, I'm going to gently pull away the white space and discard that. We're going to do each petal just like this. So this is what my main flower looks like once all of those petals are done. So it's time to move on to these two big leaves here. And because we've talked so much about what happens when you mess up, I decided to leave this next part in. But as we get closer to the bottom of the leaf here, you can see that I didn't have it quite completely cut out and I used a little bit too much pressure. You can see me completely freeze as I tried to figure out what to do. When this happens, your two options are basically start all over or just keep going. And by this point, I felt like I was a little bit too far in, so we're just going to go with it. By the time I had finished cutting out both leaves, you could never really tell that I'd made a mistake in the first place. So it's important to remember that a tiny mistake is not necessarily going to ruin your design. You don't have to start all over if you don't want to. And now that I'm on to these two simple flowers, I don't really have any more complicated shapes, so the rest of this should be a breeze. This is a good time to remember that with this project, take your time, maybe listen to an audiobook or some music while you work. And if you choose a complicated design, remember that you don't have to finish it all in one sitting. You could absolutely put this down and come back to it later. This is what my design looks like once all of the flowers and main pieces are cut out. Now all that's left is to cut out these large white filler pieces and free my design from the larger paper. So let's see what it looks like once we've done that. Here is the final freed design, and if you look at it this way, you can see where my lines were a little messy, those white spaces, and of course it's all black. So if I pop it over, it suddenly looks much cleaner and it will stand out on the black background that I've picked out. Using your glue stick, you're going to add some glue to the back of your design and then gently set it onto your backing paper. You don't need to cover the whole thing in glue. Maybe just adding glue to some strategic spots will be enough, and then gently flatten your design out, make sure it lays down, and you are all done. Here's a final look at my two versions of this design side by side. If you're interested in trying this for yourself, the library has several books on the art of paper cutting, and you are welcome to check them out. I hope you enjoyed this craft, and check back every week for more videos from the Calcasieu Parish Public Library.